Yeah, one of the states that are thinking about putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. What do you make about states putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet?
I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. So Trump proposed a Bitcoin stockpile, as you know, not a reserve, but a stockpile. It's a subtle difference.
Okay.
Countries have been stockpiling commodities since the dawn of time. We stockpile oil. We used to stockpile gold. China stockpiles rebar and copper and soybeans. Countries stockpile precious commodities as the world's first digital commodity.
Do they have the financial wherewithal, though, to manage that on a balance sheet?
I'd have to look into Pennsylvania's wherewithal, but I do think it makes sense. I think it makes sense for the United States. I think it's a very forward-looking idea.
You know, are you worried that the speculation in the coin has outpaced the technology of the blockchain? Because the blockchain is the transformational technology, right? The coin is the facilitator. It's like the juice that goes through the system, but you need a system. The system, I still haven't bought a slice of pizza with Bitcoin yet, or I don't know any. But, I mean, what's going on?
Charlie, you and I are the same vintage. We're old enough to remember the dot-com bubble. And in the dot-com bubble, prices got ahead of the underlying technology. It wasn't that people didn't want to engage in e-commerce. They didn't want to do it using dial-up modems, and they didn't want to do it putting their credit card information to a dodgy website. It took the arrival of 4G and 5G technology, took the arrival of PayPal and other utilities, took the arrival of Amazon delivery to make e-commerce a reality. The price always gets ahead of the underlying technology, but then the underlying technology catches up.
So this is the CFTC chair giving you his take, saying that the underlying asset, Bitcoin's price, is sort of outpacing the current state of the technology stack that the blockchain offers to society. Now, there might be some merit in that, but Bitcoin is also a hedge against debasement. It's a gold replacement. It gives people the option to opt out of the system, because right now, if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you get that 2% raise at the end of the year and get patted on the back and get told good job, well, guess what? That isn't outpacing the year-over-year debasement of the dollar. So you actually are getting a nominal increase as far as the dollar goes, the number goes, but your purchasing power is losing value, and that right now is the hedge that Bitcoin allows individuals to become self-sovereign with their savings vehicles. Another update from Michael Saylor. He's saying MicroStrategy is acting as a credit default swap on $100+ trillion in the 20th century assets. So understanding the complexity of this and what this actually means sort of goes back to video with the CFTC chair giving his take and really relaying it to the dot-com bubble. This is a digitization of money, but Bitcoin is bigger than that. It's a global revolution, and if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption, but if you're interested in trading MicroStrategy options, any other stock out there, Bitcoin, Solana, or any other crypto out there, you can now do that on MooMoo. And if you sign up with our affiliate link, which we pin in the comment section, also in the description below, when you sign up and deposit any amount, you're going to receive up to 20 free stocks, and each one of these stocks could be valued at up to $2,000. So make sure to sign up with MooMoo. Go get that free money. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video.
And to piggyback on that, if you're interested in getting 20 free stocks, who doesn't like free stuff? Each valued up to $2,000. Here's the link in the pinned comment below. And then if you need some alpha to understand how you can use those stocks, maybe some option plays, how to use those funds, join the Bitcoin Bros Club on our Patreon. We have one of the fastest growing communities there. We'll talk to you on the other side. The current time of this recording, we're seeing Bitcoin coming in right over 95,000. Right now, with it being a holiday, it's a slow trading day. So Bitcoin has been just trading around 95K. Looking at the price action, we see 95.177. Looking at the total crypto market capitalization, we're seeing the total crypto market cap coming in at $3.3 trillion. Getting to the charts, what do we see for Bitcoin in the short term, and what do you got to be aware of, and what could happen? So right now, a lot of people are very, very excited about the $100,000 Bitcoin price. Now, if you look out on the macro, things are looking bullish, but we do see some potential hesitation in the market, something you got to be aware of, because we do see this inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. And this is definitely a bullish pattern. The technical target, we've looked at that. You just measure from the head to the neckline, the breakout point, you get a multi-$100,000 Bitcoin price. But Are we just going to go straight up there just like that? Now, that is a possibility that could happen over the next 6 months. This could be what the markets see, extreme euphoria. Or we could get a cool off and come back down and retest these levels in the mid 70 range. Is this what we're going to see? Now, the Gaussian channel might be trending up towards that level. So by January, will we get that cool off going into the new year? People be selling off, trying to pay taxes and such, or will we get that continuation to the upside? This is something just to be aware of. The target's still the same, but this would be a reset, and this would pull a lot of long calls out of the market and put them extremely underwater if this happened. That's a $20,000 decrease. So will this occur? Time will tell. It could just trade in a given range. If we look at our extension levels, pull from the swing low to the swing high, we pull this over. Let's make it make sense. You see right now we are trading right at this 1.618 level and the 95.2277 range. This is on the 5-day. We wicked above it, got almost up to $100,000 as a high. Now, will we just cool off and trade in this channel and come back down to the 1.414? Is this something that we're going to see? Could we just trade, just sort of, is this forming some type of potential bull flag where this is, we draw this in this fashion, in this capacity, and we sort of trade in this channel before we break out of this, because this could be a massive flag pull. There's a lot of things that we see in this chart, but you just got to be aware of the upside and downside risk. MicroStrategy is the same, because if you look at the chart, you see that MicroStrategy is putting in a similar pattern. Whether you're looking at this as a big cup and handle or an inverse head and shoulders, the technical target's all the same. And we showed you that in previous videos. But if MicroStrategy has a cool off, could it come back down to around the $230 range for a reset before it has a bump and run continuation pattern going into late 2025 and potentially even 2026? At the current time of this recording, MicroStrategy is up after hours a couple dollars at $3.93. This is something that you just have to be aware of. We look at the extensions for MicroStrategy as well, from the swing low to the previous swing high. Right now, we actually came all the way up to the top of this Fibonacci extension level for the 4.236. Could we come back down and retest the 1.618 because we blew through that before having that bump and run continuation pattern? That could be some max pain for individuals that are long right now, so just be aware of that. An update just in: Bernstein predicts MicroStrategy will own 4% of the total Bitcoin supply by 2033, and they expect that to be worth $830 billion. So that's a huge appreciation from where we are now, roughly a 10x, but that's the underlying asset. If there's any type of premium on top of that asset 10 years out, then you just multiply that by 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're talking about a $1 trillion valuation at a minimal stance for MicroStrategy, which is a huge appreciation and a huge gain. Another update: short-term 1 hourly bull flag. This is from Crypto. Shout out to him. And you got to be aware of all things that are playing out, because this was a downwards channel. This is the flag pull. Could go back up to previous all-time highs to have another retest. Is this what's going to be playing out on the short term? That could be in the cards. We showed you the downside. Here's the potential upside in the short term. And looking at on this day over the past few years, this is what we want you to be aware of and cognizant of, because right now, X out the outlier, the first cycle when Bitcoin hit 1,000. But let's look at the halving years. 2016, it was 740, and then 2017, the price did over a 10x. It looks about like a 12x from 2016 to 20. That's over a year's time. So 2020, it was 17,000. A year later, the price looks like it over tripled. So we're right now in 2024. So we're seeing a pattern from every halving year, you see the price go up substantially the next year. Every halving year, major bump. halving year, major bump. Look where we are right now, 95,000. A year from today, where will the price be? It'll definitely be a lot more than what it is now based on history. Crypto cons weighing in and looking at the theory of the sine waves. And this is November 28th date, using this once again. And right now, where we are, this is the start of the red year. So what's the red year? That's the up year where you have the double tops, double tops, double tops. And right now, this is where we are. And looks like that second peak is going to be within 365 days with a delta plus or minus 21 days. So you can anticipate the price being higher than what it is on this date today. That's why we showed you this chart here. So for all these theories that are playing out, and then looking at Bitcoin on the high time, but if we look on the lower time frame on the daily, we can see very similar risk in the market. So basically, will Bitcoin trade and continue to trade in the given channels that it's trading in, or will we get a cool off, like a bigger macro cool off, to where could this be a bull flag that's playing out on the daily? Or we had a fake out here, we got back into this channel, might come back down to 91,000 and just keep trading until we break out of this. Is this a flag pattern here? And where would this take us up to if this is an actual pattern? The longer it takes, if it goes, be by the first week in December, so take us up to $130,000 per Bitcoin. So right now is like one of those areas where you just got to look at where the breakouts go. One thing we have going is this is a bull market. And looking on the lower time frame, look on the 4-hour. If we get rid of the Gaussian channel, let's get rid of these fib extensions just so we can see the chart. So the one line that you want to pay attention to if we zoom into this price action during a bull cycle is this 20 moving average. The 20 moving average tends to act as support. You see right here, we fell through it, but we sort of kept respecting it, fell through it, hit our head, and now got back above it. At the current time of this recording, we are above the 20 moving average. Now the 20 moving average and the 50 are sort of getting extremely close. If we get across the downside, that means the price action is going to follow. But this could get close, and the 20 moving average could extend the same way it did right here. It actually kissed the 50 before it had a continuation to the upside. So looking back in the charts, if we look back, let's go back to the last bull cycle of 2021. So let's zoom into the price action to see what we see. So let's make this bigger. So you can see here that when we actually had the breakout, that 20 moving average was something that just tended to hold. We did come back down sometimes and actually retest the 50, in this case the 200, and bounced off it. And the 20 moving average was something that the price action on the way up just tended to respect. And we had brief cool-offs where we retested the 50 and 200 multiple times. So if we zoom out and we go back to present day, where we are today, we can see very similar price action. Current time is recording, we're actually breaking below 95,000. It's 94.9 right now. But once again, we've showed you in this channel that that's what we could do. We came back, actually kissed the 50 almost perfectly. If we zoom in here, and right now we're still holding above this. Will we get this negative cross, or will Bitcoin just continue to just trade in this channel here and just trade sideways and get squeezed up and then have a breakout, as this 50 just continues to coil up? Ideally, we want maybe the 20 to come and kiss it like it did before, but then have a continuation to the upside. So by the first or second week in December, could we get that continuation to the upside and see $100,000 plus? That could be in the cards. So you got the breakdown targets and breakup targets. Just be cautious in your positioning, and be very, manage your risk if you're taking any type of long leverage calls or trades. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate each and every one of you. And with that, I'm out.